Hello and welcome back to NCTV. I am Gavin Bauer.
And I'm Xavier Carter.
To begin, we have a review of an album done by one of our NCTV producers, Marcus Sanford.
Hi everyone, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to NCTV. On this week's episode of NCTV, we wanted to bring a new segment to you. This segment will be called Record Reviews with Mark. What is Record Reviews with Mark, you may be asking? I'm glad you asked. This Record Reviews with Mark is where Mark, myself, looks through his record collection and or CDs and or whatever music collection he has and reviews some of his favorites, some of his least favorites, and tries to entertain you along the way. This is mainly just a reason for me to flex my record collection that I've been spending like 5 years making. Please don't make fun of me. I'm sorry, I hate myself too. On the first episode of Record Reviews with Mark, I wanted to touch on an album that came out this year that I love dearly and I believe is my favorite album of the year, which is Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers. Let's take a look at it. Phoebe Bridgers is an American singer-songwriter known best for her work with the 1975 and the group project Boy Genius, which includes her, Julian Baker, and Lucy Dacus, who are also singer-songwriters in the same vein as her. This album is nothing short of a tough listen at most points. My introduction to Phoebe's music was through her work with the aforementioned 1975 on their last album on tracks like Jesus Christ 2005, God Bless America, quite the title. Also, her work with Conor Oberst, who is the lead singer of the emo godsend Bright Eyes. The first track I heard from Phoebe was the second single to this album, Kyoto, and after hearing it for one time, I knew I was hooked. Kyoto is one of those songs that once you hear it, you know the chorus word for word and it will be stuck in your head forever, despite its very dark subject matter. Speaking of dark, this is a very dark album. Phoebe doesn't stray away from themes such as drug use, heartbreak, death, and even the apocalypse, and I am a firm believer in the fact that topics such as these are important to talk about and to listen to, even if they're hard to deal with. From tracks such as Kyoto, Moon Song, Halloween, the title track Punisher, the lead single Garden Song, and the hauntingly beautiful Chinese Satellite, Phoebe makes this track list all killer, no filler. But the best track is easily the outro, I Know the End. This song is quite frankly about the end of the world. It starts off like most Phoebe songs, a love song, and then it just goes downhill really quick. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this album came out while we were all in quarantine and locked in our houses for months on end, so good timing on your part, Phoebe. And I don't need to sugarcoat it, this year has been tough for everyone. And this album has been so important to not only me, but to a lot of other people I know and a lot of other people I've seen. And albums like this are just so important and so awesome to me because it shows that there's still beauty in the world that is in smokes right now. So thank you so much, Phoebe. I can't wait for your new work. I'm a huge fan. Well, it looks like we're out of time. I'd like to thank you for joining us on the first episode of Record Reviews with Mark. If you want to see another episode, just like it, I guess. Let us know if you enjoy this. I want to talk about some old stuff, some new stuff. If any of you have any recommendations, that'd be cool. I have a lot of records here. Maybe whatever you recommend, I can fulfill that. So thanks for watching. Cheers.
With the state of the country currently, this is a very normal occurrence. People are being asked to take down their flags and off their vehicles in the parking lot.
I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify.
We were winning everything, and all of a sudden it was just called off.
Arizona is going the other way. I know you're one of the only places in the world that called it for him. Many of the other networks and anti-Trump papers haven't called it yet.
We were getting ready for a big celebration. The results tonight have been phenomenal, and we are getting ready to just celebrate something that was so beautiful, so good.
So on Tuesday, me and my friend Ashton Bowers were leaving the parking lot after about lunchtime, and as we were leaving, I noticed that 2 staff members of NC were taking, over their walkies, were taking a report over a car that had a Trump flag on it.
As we were leaving, we asked them, is it okay if we have this on there? And they responded with, we just don't want politics in the school.
I came back, was told that I need to take out the Trump flag, need to raise my windows for the Trump 2020, all the random stuff that everybody in the school has.
The only conflict we had during the election season was there were some flags that were displayed from vehicles out in the parking lot that had profanity on them. There were political flags with profanity on them. So you can't display any profanity on campus, so we had to have those students take those flags down. But that was the only bit of conflict we had in this area. And when we dealt with that, I told those students that I was having them take down their flags not because of the political expressions on them, but because of the profanity on them. And all of them understood that and complied with that requirement.
It was honestly really upsetting to see the school take it to a whole nother level of just going around and asking kids to leave if they have the flag.
I do not believe that the school had the right to do that. Right after that conversation was said, I did look up the code of conduct and I did look up the school handbook that all of us signed as students, and I did not see a single thing on there that said that we couldn't have our own personal flag.
You know, expressing political beliefs is a constitutional right, part of free speech. So again, we encourage everyone to participate in the political process and make an informed decision for those who are of voting age.
We're there to learn. We're not there for our teachers to be forcing their political beliefs on us.
Political engagement is authorized on campus. It's a constitutional right to free speech, and understanding the American political process is part of a high school education. So we encourage political discourse and expression of political beliefs. Beyond that, though, there doesn't need to be any incivility or problems in doing that. If expressing your political beliefs crosses the line into some sort of confrontational situation or violence, which we didn't have, fortunately, but that sort of expression of beliefs is not tolerated.
It really isn't just like a presidential candidate. It's freedom of speech to be to say who you want to be and choose a side.
I hope that just someone, because at that point it's First Amendment rights, you have your freedom of speech. I'm just signifying what I believe in, and if you don't believe in it, I'm not trying to force that on you. I'm just trying to signify what I believe in, how I wish something would turn out in the end.
Well, political intimidation in any environment is not good. I've not seen any of that on this campus. Leading up to the election last week, there was a lot of opinions on both sides that were expressed, and as long as those expressions are civil and peaceful, there's nothing wrong with that.
We capture school-provided masks that have gone home with students and staff. The school district is asking students to please return any borrowed masks at the end of the day. District provides masks that are running very low and are not expecting another shipment allocations. In the near future, please bring your school-provided masks from home and deposit them. All masks will be laundried upon their return to the school. Up next, a parody music video by Garrett, and I'll be interviewing a local student of the University of Wyoming.
Hi, I'm Allie Crossan with NCTV, and today we will be discussing wind. Songs have been written about it. It rips papers right from our hands, topples trees, it'll even blow the smallest of persons down to the ground. Here in Casper, Wyoming, we definitely have our fair share of it. To dive even deeper, we interviewed a meteorologist to get all the details about wind and how it works.
My name is Ryan Gold. I am the weekend meteorologist and graphics, head of graphic development for WJBF in Augusta.
Could you just tell a scientific definition of what wind is and how it occurs?
So wind is a change in air pressure. Basically, if you ever walked into a building and you get a big rush of air, that's a synthetic wind, basically. Air travels outside of a high pressure system, moves towards a low pressure system, which is why it's clockwise around a high pressure because of Coriolis force of the Earth spinning, moving towards and then kind of going around that counterclockwise with low pressure, mostly obviously because of that Coriolis force, but it's also because it's traveling from that high to that low. So when you have two areas of very different pressures, high pressure potentially down low and low pressure up high, you end up seeing that really large shift of wind, which is why it kind of goes super fast in Wyoming.
Here we go. Seals and Croft, baby. Garrett Kachowski cover. See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. A little light is shining through the window, lets me know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jazz bit in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Makes me feel fine.
Welcome back. I'm here with Tanner Ewald. I'm here to ask some questions about the uprising of the pandemic, which is forcing college students to take online courses instead of going back to class. So Tanner, how are you dealing with said online class in the pandemic?
Well, it's definitely not the college experience that I was hoping for, but, you have to adapt just like everybody else is in these times.
And speaking of everyone else, do you know anyone else that you know that has also been affected by this?
Yeah, I actually know 4 or 5 people personally who have caught COVID while on campus and been forced into quarantine, and it's definitely shifted how everybody is seeing their college experience this time around.
Do you think that that this will be a continuation, or that we'll keep on doing this? And
Speaking with a lot of my professors and school officials, they have a plan in place to continue this for the next year and a half, possibly even 2 years, until a vaccine becomes widely available and they can ensure the safety of their students.
Okay, any opinions that you want to share?
That the biggest challenge has been the fact that school doesn't stop now. Our dormitories have become the place that we live, but they've also become our classroom. And it becomes very difficult to separate, personal time from school time, which has led to a big uptick in students who are feeling anxious and depressed and lacking in motivation to continue their courses. So it's definitely been one of the bigger challenges of COVID-19.
Yeah, and thank you so much for coming on our show on NCTV.
Thank you guys.
Thank you to all you for watching. Join us next time on NCTV. Gavin Bauer.
And I'm Xavier Carter.
See you next time.